Always hung out with the girls. Always hung out with the girls. Always hung out with the girls. The girls, they accepted me.
God damn it. Okay. So welcome to the Fluid Voice. Wait, no, people can see me. People should be able to see everyone now.
Oh wait, okay. Sorry.
Yes. This is clearly starting back up. Hi, I'm Ozma In The Dark, utilizing she they pronouns for the purposes of coping, I guess, at the moment. I am here as always with Christy. How are you doing?
I'm fine. My name is Christy. I use she, her for the purposes of pissing off Nazis, really.
I mean, that's as good of a reason as any for a lot of stuff. And we are here with ContextWrench. How are you doing?
I'm here again because being summoned is something I'm good at. Mostly she, her-ish. I'm fairly ambivalent mostly, but just don't call me late for dinner and we're usually okay.
So we're starting this, or I kind of made the topic where we're all at, and there's, I was always kind of planning this sort of topic, content warning, death and grief and such, because we at Perfect is no longer with us as far as I can tell. I had gotten the Discord message from his account from a family member saying that he passed away, and I just realized I don't have Discord open at the moment, but it was I want to say late February, unexpectedly in his sleep type thing. That's the information I have, and he was a good person, and I didn't plan I didn't plan this out as well as I probably should have, but it needed to be said. To explain to some degree what's going on, just in general. I mean, there were other reasons for how long it was going to take to start this season anyways, but yeah, he was a good person and a good ally, and learned the right lessons from Mr. Rogers.
Yeah.
Did he ever explain the owl on the show?
I believe so.
Uh,
I don't know.
well, we can go over it again. I mean, it doesn't hurt. I mean, since you brought it up, Christy.
It's Henrietta, right?
No, it's X the Owl.
XCL. Henrietta's from the New Zoo Review, right?
No, Henrietta's the pussycat who is his best friend who he lives next door to.
Oh. Okay. I don't remember Mr. Rogers at all, so.
I remember I can recite sections of Mr. Rogers for various reasons. But yeah.
Well, you say why then, because I'm not gonna be able to get through it if I do.
Okay. So, the way I remember Perfect's retelling of his selection of his avatar of X the Owl there was conflict as to why an owl would be friends with particularly a pussycat, because normally that's a predator relationship and they don't get along. But there's a point at which X the Owl says that he gets to choose who he gets to be friends with, and nobody gets to make that decision for him. So Perfect decided that that would be his primary avatar, because he would decide who he got to be friends with regardless of what was said about it, and that he used that as a way to be a good ally to a lot of people and a lot of communities. So that's the story as I understand it.
Yes, that is the story. He was my friend. I mean, there's not a better way to say that. He just was my friend. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we met through the show, but we talked to each other outside of it, so. And a year after losing Sophia, it was a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's where I am with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am doing my best not to feel absolutely cursed, because I've lost 6 friends and family members in 7 years. It's way too close to 1 a year average. And yeah.
None of us are strangers to loss, but it doesn't make it get any easier.
No.
No.
I mean, I've already lost 2 of my siblings, so, you know.
Yeah.
It's... Well, we had other things, yeah. We had a lot we were going to do, so... On this...
Yeah.
Enjoying that.
Yeah, I know the audio is terrible, but I'm probably going to upload the show that didn't end up continuing, that I recorded a bunch with Perfect. I'm pretty sure I still have that.
Okay.
And Yeah,
He was,
I'll try to do my best.
yeah. He was definitely a student of philosophy, so if you can get a hold
Yeah.
of that, that would definitely be a tribute if it's available.
Yeah, I know I had to reset the computer, but I backed up like all my video files, so there's a decent chance. Actually, I check now, but I don't want to show like all my folders on a
No,
live stream.
Yeah, generally don't do that.
Probably for the best.
Yeah, and yeah.
So, we're deeply grateful to have known him
Yes.
Yes.
and to have learned from each other. And now I guess we get to see what's next and to carry forward.
There was a few minutes, okay, a couple of weeks where I was just ready to say, okay, I'm done with this. But that
Yeah,
wouldn't
that's
have been
fair. That's totally fair. If this had happened earlier, I would have been done with it.
I get you. Anyway, so going from 4 to 3 I'm gonna do show stuff now because I have to. Going from 4 to 3 was okay because we'd done it before and survived. Poor choice of word. But we will have a third person here.
Yeah. I just need to get in a decent enough mental position to ask it's my life's a whole host of mess at the moment. I mean, recovery was more intense than and lengthy than I expected. I've got an annoying debt collector problem. I don't have a bank account at the moment. What else? So I have to reset that. There's the $5,000 bill that needs to get undone because for whatever reason, either because of the hospital or the insurance, I need to or something went wrong because it's like 2 parts of the surgery and everything else got covered. So it's something addressable. It's just a lot of stuff, and some of it is more time sensitive than others. So some stuff might be more last minute than others, depending on how well I can sort stuff out. That being said, I also feel better doing stuff that I want to do and put the mental effort into, so I can sort that out.
Okay. The well, it's fine. So you've got an innie now instead of an outie,
Yes.
and God approves apparently. That thunderclap was not my fault, I swear.
That's what they all say.
Yeah, I mean, the surgeons say everything went well, and I guess everything went about as well as it could with regards to the surgery. So, now recovery is a whole another complicated mess, but yeah, it's there's that, but like on a more philosophical political opinion or political position, I'm still on the left. I know it's a shock.
Oh no. You didn't get the surgery and immediately become a Nazi?
No, and I also didn't immediately start supporting Buck Angel or some other sort of
But we all detransition. What are you doing?
I do like the lack of dysphoria. Or the massive decrease in dysphoria.
It's yeah. I'm on my way. We're setting it up right now, so
yeah, I mean, to be fair, I already called to be put on the waiting list to eventually talk with someone to deal with facial feminization surgery. Since that's covered in Minnesota, and because I figured why not. I probably wouldn't be able to deal with that until like the end of the year anyways, and by then I will have been very much recovered.
oh, good.
From this. But yeah, no, there's just been a lot of other stuff like behavioral health home services. I've been dealing with them and adult rehabilitative mental health services. So I have been getting a lot of help to sort out life to some degree. It's just some people in life are really annoying. Like, I swear debt collectors would rather me end up homeless and them getting no money than taking like $1,000 to pay for a $3,000 debt.
Yes, they would.
Which is dumb.
Yeah, they don't care. It's the principle of
It's the principle they're
prosperity and blobbity whatever. Sorry.
It's the principle they're interested in. Ha!
Yeah. There you go.
I fell into a bit of a hole for a while. I didn't have a phone. I didn't really do anything for a couple of months.
Okay.
I stopped working. or writing. Yeah, I stopped working on the book. Just everything. And my counselor dropped me because I wasn't showing up. So, which is weird. Me not showing up shows that I'm in a danger place.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you have to remember they're medical staff, so they don't really care about those logistics. What they care about are billing codes. I'm sorry, I
know.
might be a little jaded.
I know. So I'm working on getting that back. Thankfully, I've got my case manager managed to stay on, even though technically she shouldn't. So, but there we go.
Yeah, and there are potential guests, and we'll probably have a guest by next week. Hopefully.
And there are co-hosts that are a lot more intelligent than I am, so.
Well, that would be hard to do.
Nah. I just throw around big words. Snack.
I mean, you're pretty intelligent.
Yeah. Occasionally, maybe.
More than occasionally. I mean, you helped with regards to spreading a lot of disability rights contexts.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, I have to get up for a minute because I've got to rebuild the block in front of my door. Be right back.
Okay. But yeah, no, it's I mean, like, with regards to any of this stuff, it's very you know, every year you learn more stuff and you improve. And
is that what's supposed to happen?
Hopefully.
Well, ideally,
yeah.
I mean, self-reflection helps. Listening to people. You know how hard it is to get rid of white supremacist conditioning that's prevalent throughout society? It's hard.
Yeah.
I still have the default white assumption mentality and disregard black culture and don't acknowledge basically I feel like I've just in general bad about respecting your culture and heritage, Christy.
My culture and heritage?
Mm-hmm.
I don't really have one. I come from two families of musicians, writers, and artists. So that's a whole different culture entirely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
life is complicated.
It's kind of like,
I guess my point is on an instinctual level, my brain does the super white thing of associating white passing with white on an instinctual level, because white supremacist conditioning is hard to get rid of.
yeah, well, it's also funny because when I was younger, I didn't, and I found. Hold on, I wonder if I can get this on camera here. It's tiny Christy, who looks very, very Spanish there, doesn't she? Eh?
Yeah. Well, you keep cutting off your head, but yeah.
No, sorry. It's showing a different camera angle than you have. So, can you see it now?
Yeah. There's a face. Very cute little cherubic
Yeah.
face.
This is someone who was born with the name Juan, huh?
But yeah, no, there's still a lot. There's still a lot I need to improve on as a person. I mean, obviously, stuff to have more of a safety net with the purposes of survival, and not be in so much of an unhealthy power dynamics would be is important too.
Yeah, I don't. Yes, and don't worry about it as much. I'm serious. It doesn't make sense to worry about it. I mean, worry about it, do something, but I mean, be yourself, fight the power. That's cool. I mean, that's all you can do, really. And
Yeah.
learn. Hold on.
It's one thing to know that, well, excuse me, for me, it's one thing to know that, and another thing to be able to do it in a way that doesn't make you a target for a lot of other stuff. So it's a balancing act for me.
Okay.
I'm better at not dwelling or worrying as much as I'm saying. I just also know that survival on due to like the well-being of one other person is something that can be stressful if I do happen to think about it, but it also has the unhelpful power dynamic because I don't. What I say is based partially on not rocking the boat too much with that person so I can still survive.
Okay. I apologize that my face was cut off for most of this. I didn't realize how it was going out.
The Sword of Damocles is an interesting place to be under.
Well, and I'm not even I'm not even in like full Sword of Damocles. It's just
No.
It's just like there's a bomb. It's like there's a bomb next door that I don't want to touch because I don't want to make it go off and blow up in my face. But if I leave it alone, I'll probably be fine unless something else sets it off.
Right.
Whereas Sword of yes, you're sorry. I interrupted a bit. You're in Sword of Damocles situation.
It's kind of potato, but whatever. It's you have a little more of a safety net than I do.
Yes.
Which is something.
Yeah.
That being said, if the person who helped me died, I would be homeless within a month or two. Probably. So yeah. So it's on the one hand I am in a safe position, on the other hand if the right thing goes wrong I am in a very terrible position.
You have a house. It's currently built of cards.
Yeah.
And if the wind blows just wrong, you're in a more than a bit of a pickle.
I mean, admittedly, I have friends. I don't know that any of them would be able to help me in a long-term capacity.
Yeah.
And short-term is not good enough. The traumatic brain injury I experienced made something which had potentially been described as disability by therapists I went to worse. For the ability to get jobs and stuff, and even if I had whatever. I have a whole series of things that I'm sorting out, and I'm building a safety net. Or I'm getting help to building a safety net.
I have an emergency Canada. If there is an emergency, I have someone to go to in Canada. That's what I need.
Okay.
I don't have a passport. Also, I don't know anyone in Canada.
Well, even if I had one, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't let me in. So that's the thing.
Yeah. But that being said, leftism.
Yeah. Community support, mutual aid, all the good stuff.
Yeah.
As much as we can. Right.
Yeah, if I won the lottery, I would do a lot of mutual aid. Indigenous Heretic mentions not having passing privilege, but feeling for BIPOC who do. It's an odd world they must inhabit. Sorry, I probably should have been reading chat a little bit just to add to things. I did not look. I need to warm up back to planning mentality. And also, we're going to be on Skype for a little bit until I can have a bank account again and possibly pay for Zoom, because Zoom is, on average, nicer. And also does closed captions.
Well, these captions do work, even if they're not ideal. We're getting everybody captioned to a point.
Yes.
Which, though not ideal, is at least something.
I was answering about the passing privilege for the record, because it is odd to be contingent like that, which I am. So, and contingent on levels. So many levels. So many.
Yeah.
It's. But in general, it's. Yeah, it's just weird. I have community, I have writers, I have musicians, I have trans people. So that's what I've got. And that's good.
Yeah. And it's good to have community in general is good. Building community, on the other hand, is stressful.
It can be.
Building is one thing, sustaining is another, and yeah.
That's true. Sustaining community is a lot easier.
Well, it can be if it's a shared undertaking. If it's not relatively evenly divided, it's a bit of a slog. But
well, yeah, I mean, but like for one thing, because I've wanted to for a while, and I've mentioned in the show, I'm sure, but I've never actually done it or made real effort to do it, or I haven't been able to put myself in a mental place to fully set up. Is I always wanted to make a community of people living in the apartment I live in to some degree.
I mean, I did have a community house, so that I was buying. Then the owner died, and we lost the house because the kids wanted it. because it was a rent-own situation. It's a long story. But for 12 whole months, there were... How many people went in and out of that place? 16 or 17. So...
Huh.
One of them's still here.
Yeah, I know on a fundamental level that community is kind of vital for organizing, but it's also helpful for feeling safer, and there are psychological reasons to psychological reasons for community stuff, but also I live in Minnesota. It's a safer place to be trans than a lot of other states, especially at the moment. So there isn't as much risk for me trying to start a community as there is for other people and other... It's going to depend on where you are or whatever the level of safety. I just tend to have a mentality of, if no one's doing it, I feel like I should do it.
There's a very large trans community here. I've talked about it before, I know, so I've got to get back in with them. I've started to make some inroads, although the same week I got the message about I got the message about my I guess my second bestest friend in the entire world. So
yeah,
because he didn't survive me falling down a hole, apparently. So I have a lot of guilt about that.
Yeah.
Although we don't know what he died from, so
Yeah, that's hard.
the family won't say.
Oh boy.
So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's just been it's been a rough start, and I'm sure COVID probably exacerbates things and probably has led to an increased chance of the death of far too many people. And it's still a freaking pandemic. Yeah. I mask up like everywhere. Once again, I swear I'm gonna be one of those characters who the tragedy is that I don't die and everyone just dies around me. That's how I feel like my life is going. I'm like, everything goes well in terms of health stuff. I've got no symptoms with COVID. Like, COVID probably will never cause any problems, which is why I mask up so I don't spread it, because I have no way of telling whether or not I have COVID. I mean, I technically do, because I technically can take a home test, but like there's no preemptive reason for me to under most circumstances. So it's Yeah, I mean, unless I'm in an open air area, because it's harder to find COVID masks. It's hard to get free COVID masks. They show up on the buses less.
I've got where's my camera? There's my camera.
Oh yeah, I mean, I have cloth masks too, although those aren't as good. I have a stockpile of free COVID masks, so because they have them on the bus to take if you need, and I need to not spread COVID, because that would be bad.
Those of us who are immunocompromised, thank you for your service.
Yes, thank you.
Like I said, I don't wear them open air if I'm exercising, because I'm not going anywhere near people, and I don't want to run out of masks. Because that's a genuine possibility. With like I said, buses are less likely to have free masks. I don't see them in Target anymore, I don't think. Because for a while that was the second backup.
My mom bought me this to replace my Wonder Woman one, which I lost. But she got a Superman one, not a Supergirl one. Like, she knows the difference.
Oh no. The Walmart there doesn't have free ones either. That's rough. If I recall correctly, the cloth ones don't do anywhere near as much.
You can get cloth ones that like have a pocket in them. And
oh yeah, but
the filter for those are a little better.
But you have to be able to get a filter.
Yeah. But I mean, even if it's just another layer of fabric or something that you're changing out, that's at least something.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, I've got a good stockpile, and like I said, open air, away from people, it's pretty low risk. I at the moment, I'm wearing them more so if I go anywhere indoors or take a bus or whatever.
Yeah.
And outside of the apartment, because I don't tend to run into people in the apartment anyway if I'm taking out trash or something, and also I don't have... Oh wait, I do have gloves. Technically, I guess I should be wearing those when taking out trash. Although I'm not gonna be able to get more though if I run out.
I would save the gloves at this point.
Yeah.
So what's been going on in queer news? Let's switch over here.
Sorry, my brain immediately went to the... I mean, yes, there has been a lot. Obviously, Minnesota has the whole law that's in place to disregard other people trying to get trans people in trouble for transitioning.
I mean, I have an emergency Minnesotan too, and it's not you, so.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. My place is small, and there's not really. I mean, I've cleaned up my place to some. It is cleaner than it was last time I was on stream. It was messier for a bit, and now it's cleaner than it ever was technically. And some of that is because of behavioral health home services and armed services, like actually helping with stuff. So I can schedule.
Who's knocking where? Someone's knocking.
Oh, I'm not hearing a knock. Unless I was twitching my leg a bunch and moving around with the pen. I don't know.
Is that you twitching your leg?
Right now, yes. Is it making a noise?
It's making a loud noise.
Okay, I'll try to calm. Look, I'm twitching my leg because I like to stream on Twitch. It's the obvious. It's a weird side effect of that, but
so, well, you can. It's what is it? Well, at least there's been some good trans news lately. That the overreach has been kind of noticed by the general populace. I saw Kelly J. Keane in Dublin worked out real well for her.
Yeah, she survived a terrible soup attack.
Really? Poor lady. She was offered soup.
It's free soup.
Soup. It was actually tomato juice, or tomato drink, not a tomato juice. But
a very valid use of V8.
I mean, the Nazis are supporting her, and the Missouri thing is causing a lot of backlash to Missouri now. I did not expect that to be the state that really went for it first. Although Tennessee's is pretty weird.
Well, Tennessee Republicans are seeing what they can do. I forgot why. There's like a reason, because they have like the most power to do stuff, so they're trying to see what they can get away with. They're trying to do as much as they can that they can get away with. Yeah, and Sexual Scholar, some states are pushing back, and roughly 70% of Americans generally support access to trans care.
Yep. So, they overplayed. What a surprise.
Yeah,
it's like the two lawmakers who were kicked out and immediately put back in as their own replacements.
Yeah, you mean the you mean the racism thing?
Oh yeah, that was so sweet. It's the overstep and the backlash against the people who are calling Mr. Beast's friend Chris a problem, which is a real thing. that is happening for reasons unknown. Well, his friend came out trans, so.
Yeah, but obviously it must be a plot at this point because Chris has been there the whole time, so it's part of
yeah.
some sort of secret thing, and it's just like, yeah, no.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing,
I mean,
maybe surprising, no.
So yeah, it's overstepping all over the place.
well,
So once Knowles called for genocide, and there is no way that what he said was not calling for genocide.
Yeah.
Once he did that, there were two ways this could go. The overreach would be blatant, or they would actually come for us. And the overreach is blatant.
yes. And some of that deals with the fact that they want to rule and they've decided to dig their heels in.
Well, they think everybody disagrees with them and just afraid of us, which is fine. I'm okay with that. You'd think I wouldn't be, but I realized if oh yeah, and the Nazis showing up for Posey Parker. That was
Yeah, and she claimed she had no idea, yeah.
she had no idea.
Had no idea.
Once again, you want since I'm a major part of this show, I'm going to link that video that I mentioned. That was good. There's it just talks about how essentially how TERFs ended up with Nazis. Some aspects of that, if that's okay with everyone else.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course. I've already linked something.
Okay, but I missed that.
The basically, yeah, the Nazis showing up for Posey Parker has gotten the UK and Australia and New Zealand kind of fired up. Nazis show up against drag shows all the time here, so nobody cares when Nazis show up in the US for God knows what reason.
I mean, some people care. I mean, I care about Nazis showing up to places. That's still bad.
Yeah.
Not enough people care.
But in the US, the overreach became this too much. It's kind of like you are Republicans are starting to completely tank in the polls.
Yes.
Is important.
Yeah, and that's Prim's alt account. Anyone different needs to not exist. Yeah, that is essentially the fundamental.
Yeah, you're doing your leg.
attitude.
You're doing your leg again.
Sorry, you are correct.
You're moving the table, or whatever it's on. That's why.
Well, my leg isn't on the table. My leg is just bouncing against the ground.
Oh, okay.
It's just, I mean, it would definitely be jostling the microphone because the microphone's looser. but also, I don't know.
That's no way to talk about your microphone.
Hey, I'm not saying being loose is a bad thing.
It requires a different technique.
Oh dear. That was totally not what I was going in the old form. But I've been binging Perry Mason episodes, so you know. I think in 50s speak now.
Okay, but he was like super gay, like the whole time. But
this is a real side story, but I read 3/4 of the books a number of years ago, and I noticed that the stuff that came out in the late 50s to early 60s, there seemed to be an underlying Berger and Mason are fucking on the side. And,
I mean, of course.
And then, and this was before it was revealed that Raymond Burr was gay. And Hamilton Berger kind of liked his sex parties. And William Tallman, sorry, his actual name. So, yeah. So, since Ralph Stanley Gardner was supervising the show as well as writing the books, him putting it in there was not my imagination. It was for real there. I'm chain smoking. I gotta stop that. I haven't been recently, so I've cut way down on smoking, which is one thing that did happen.
Well, that's good.
Except now I'm very stressed with the show being back. So I apologize. I actually think this is kind of a turn. I know 2015 is called the trans tipping point, but I actually think that we may have actually gotten to a tipping point.
At least in America, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and a good one. Not,
yeah,
it's
I don't know enough about other countries to say about their policies. It's very much, people are definitely feeling the heat of pushback, and the problem being, of course, that if that's all that they focus on, it's kind of hard for people to care. It's like,
I know.
so, I mean, that does have good potential for change. I mean, Wisconsin Supreme Court also may have made a tipping point.
Oh, definitely did. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
By the way, I have relatives from Madison, Wisconsin, and what was Madison, Wisconsin was like 70% of the people in Madison, Wisconsin voted. It was something like that, or 70 or 80%. It was something ridiculous, voted for the Supreme Court justice. A lot of places were like 40 to 50%. It was just kind of nuts or whatnot.
My middle school girlfriend lives there now, so, and her kid is trans apparently. So that's a thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm open to my aunts and uncles who live there, and they've always been chill about it.
Yeah.
Like, I think because there are areas with... No. Bad leg. Bad. Anyways, there are areas... Because I know in Wisconsin there are areas with, like, neo-Nazis. So it's a lot easier... It is easy to also forget that, you know, it's a very... It's tended to be more of a purple state. It's just the Supreme Court was in the Republican favor in Wisconsin.
And basically, if the it's the conservatives don't know when to stop. They were winning. Of course, if you knew when to stop, you wouldn't be a conservative. You'd actually care about what other people think.
Well, yeah, but there's the Simpsons meme type, the Skinner meme is very much the conservative mentality of like, no, I'm not wrong. You just don't... I don't know. My brain is terrible with memes at the moment. But I know there are conservatives who outright say that, you know, the young people will just, when they grow up, they'll realize that we were right all along. But like, that's not... The Conservative Party has historically just much more slowly moved at least on a social level towards the left, just slower. So that's why there are older people who voted for the Republican Party, and now they're just like digging their heels in, and all the people who would vote for them are dying.
Well, I got more left as I aged.
Yeah.
But you started on as an artist. You started out a little bit with the atypical prep.
Yeah.
So.
But my stepfather was an actual Nazi, so I could have gone that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I have only become more left, but some of that also is because there isn't really another reasonable option in terms of mentality. Like, I would have to double down on individualistic mentalities to not go left, and due to disability related stuff, and that has only worsened over time. There's no way I can dig my heels in with that, at least not on not on a conscious level. I know on a subconscious level I still very much beat myself up about what I can or can't do on my own.
I am, for as dour as people think I am very optimistic in general. And it's very funny to some people that I am, because it's like, but you seem... Well, actually, I don't seem that way anymore, do I?
I'm pretty sure I'm more dour than you, Christy.
I just realized I'm talking to people who never knew Christopher.
Yeah. I'm just like, no. I'm the one who I've been slowly trying best to word my annoyance at the loopholes in Biden's Title IX thing that says that people can't directly kick people out for being trans, but much like with work, you can be kicked out so long as they have a reason that is viewed as reasonable enough.
I think people are reading this very poorly, because basically he's reinforcing Title IX to the point where they have to. It is the basis on which the Supreme Court in 2020 made us people. So he's just reinforcing that that's still in effect.
Yes, but they can
and telling the
see. This is what I'm saying. I'm more dour than you because I say shit like this.
And telling the states that they can't do what they're doing is what he's doing.
Yes, but they can set laws to limit or prevent trans athletes so long as it's not about. It's framed in such a way as it's not about them being trans.
You have to have a good reason, like not one that's see-through.
I am wary of anything that relies on quote unquote good reasoning. Because I grew up in Florida, damn it.
Like I said, this is me being dour. This is why it's nice to have this back and forth, because you also are like you could genuinely be right and I could be wrong. You know, and I could just be dour or whatever and just be overly cynical and jaded, which is fine, which, you know,
I don't know. I worry about that to a lesser degree for similar reasons that I worry about. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. No, you go.
No, go ahead.
You go.
That I worry about the the quote parental rights movement being based on what is developmentally appropriate as a thing that is totally functionally undefined. And it was kindergarten to third grade, and now they're trying to bring it all the way up through high school, and possibly through college if they can ram it through.
But is even Florida that stupid?
Never underestimate the power of the villages.
Now, I will say something, Christy, that there is, regardless of if I consider there to be loopholes now, it got through, and loopholes can be closed, and with the Republican Party losing as hard as they are, it might be easier for them to pass this now and close the loopholes in the future. So there are several arguments for your position.
Yeah.
Even if we disagree about the gravity of immediate
oh no,
benefit.
I think that there is severe gravity in it. I don't discount that. I do say that don't kick your allies for doing what they can. Is basically it.
Yeah, I mean, that's a complicated issue in itself. And even if it is what they can now, like, how dangerous will good enough be later?
Yeah. Doma and DODT were terrible for history, but what could be done then?
Yeah, I just hope things stabilize somewhat in the interim. And I currently have real concerns that they won't in time.
I mean, that is... Okay, so here's the complicated thing with this. We're kind of in a weird period of time, and it's hard to judge that because things have only changed faster and faster. And with more visibility, has a tendency to move people towards basically further left in terms of social and things. If things continue at their pace, it's not in enough time, but I don't know if there might be a turning point or there might be ways to change things that just haven't been thought of. If we're talking about trying to end on an optimistic note, because we are approaching, we are slowly approaching the end of the show, and optimism is important for getting stuff done. I had forgotten how to hope for a bit, which really worked against me getting bottom surgery paperwork done and other stuff like that. So hope is important, and I do believe that ending on a good note is probably a good thing.
Yeah. I guess I'm glad we're still here and doing whatever it is we can in all its imperfection.
In all its imperfection.
So that's something, even when it's not all the things, even when it doesn't feel like enough. And that doesn't change the realities that surround us, but you know, there's only so much that individual people can do, even when we come together in small groups. So
yes. And yeah, there's been a larger history about organizing, and depending on the state, the community, the city, and stuff, and obviously relying on hope completely is not really an answer, but hope is a good starting point to bridge off of, to do what you can, which is all you can do.
Once people, most people are persuadable. It's the people like over in the far right and the far left that aren't. And whilst I am quite left, I also try and understand that I am not a majority in any way, shape, or form. So I take that into account and try and analyze it from that, but as to what can be done,
Well, this is why someone has to do what they can to not be ignored and just take the whatchamacallit, what's the thing for shifting perspectives, the hammer or whatever. Not the hammer and sickle, the other hammer. Or is it like a pendulum? Fudge, why am I can never brain terminology. When it comes to voting, there's like a general range that can shift. And it's called the something. And just like...
The Overton window?
Yeah, the Overton window. That's what I'm thinking of. I don't know why I thought hammer. Whatever. Just knock the Overton window just to the left. Just... You know.
Well, we'll be...
Or further to the left.
There are a lot of people keep in contact with your trans peeps, especially the smalls, because they're the ones who are having the biggest amount of trouble. Although they're taking the least amount of shit, so there is that. They're putting up with the least amount of shit, I should say.
Well, yeah, which is why it's important to emotionally support me on Twitch, because right now I don't have a bank account, so there's no way to financially support me at the moment. But emotionally support me on Twitch, because I have gotten a death threat on Twitch before, so... Even though I am very small on Twitch. But Twitch is also...
I meant small like SMOL.
Oh,
like,
well,
like
fine.
The youngins, the new transes.
Oh. Well, yeah, I mean, they need support too.
So, yeah.
I'm not used to... there's a part of me that really wants more emotional support. I need to hang out with people more on Discord.
Well, your weekly therapy session is here.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So.
Hey Ozma, look at chat for a second and give a shout out, please.
To wait. Who? Wait. Shout out to who?
Mo.
Wait. What?
Mo.
Oh?
Mo.
Oh! Oh, yeah. Thank you, Mo. Oh my god. My brain... I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. My brain is slow. Thank you so much.
And
Thank you.
Isaiah, too, from earlier.
Yeah, and thank you, Isaiah. I'm so sorry. Look, it's the first day back from a long vacation.
Okay. I am optimistic that people are coming out now because they see what's actually happening, even if they don't quite get it. And the UK is turning because they've overreached. The US is turning because they've overreached here too. Canada is still a cipher to me, but if I have to, I've got an emergency Canadian, which is all good.
Yeah. Anyways, where can people find you Let's start with ContextWrench, and then
I'm mostly here, occasionally on Discord. I can be summoned. Yeah, if you're looking for me, I'll probably answer.
Okay. How about you, Christy?
Christy Abbey on Abbey, yeah. On Twitter, which I'm back on after months off. And I may or may not get back to you. I'm not real good at it right now. I'm working on it. I've been working on cleaning. It's been quite good for my mental health, I must say.
Yeah.
So.
And
although trying to actually put those queer flags up was not good for my health.
They look nice.
They were supposed to be draped on the wall, but they're not.
They still look nice. They can't look nice on screen because there's a lot of flags, and there's a good amount of color variation. And
oh yeah, and I still am on Twitter at ContextWrench trying to coordinate stuff when Twitter decides to let me and doesn't say that I'm blocked from certain stuff randomly.
We also have a Fluid Voice Twitter account, don't we?
Not anymore. That was my bad. Sorry, there was a lot. I had a lot of concern about security breaches and with Twitter, and I may have panicked at some point in January.
If it's less than a year, you can get it back.
Yeah, I know, but Twitter has security breaches. I don't want the email to get hacked.
Oh, I don't worry. That's something I definitely don't worry about because I'm way too easy. I've told you before, I'm way too easy to find. I have one email that nobody knows except people who absolutely have to. But the rest of it's like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I have been avoiding. I have possibly I have succumbed to the fear of security breaches with Twitter. I will admit I do not currently have a Twitter account. I have a Tumblr now. I have a Mastodon, which had to be switched from the Mastodon.lol because that got dropped. So it's toot.lgbt. That Mastodon is the one I'm on. Okay. And I technically have an Instagram and a co-host as well, but like in terms of promotion, Tumblr and Mastodon are more likely what I would use. Co-host I would just use for personal stuff. And oh yeah, no, I also like completely fucking deleted not the Fluid Voice Discord. The Fluid Voice Discord is still up. I didn't panic and do anything there. I did get rid of my Discord.
Can we finish up?
Yes.
Okay. I need to scoot out of here.
Okay. So with that, I know I said a bit too much. Your voice matters, your life matters, and you matter.
Okay.
I did it right. Yay!
No,
Damn
but
it.
I'm gonna let you get away with it for this one time only.
Okay, wait, what did I do wrong?
It's life voice and then you.
Damn it! I thought that was the case, but I remember you saying the order's off, and my brain was like, no, the order's too right. That can't be it. And then I switched it. God damn it. Okay, anyways. Have a good one. Bye, everyone. Take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful weekend. Hopefully we'll have a guest. We'll have a different guest next week. And maybe I'll be able to do... Maybe there'll be another co-host. I don't know. It's going to be dependent on my mood.
Okay, I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah,
Bye.
Bye.